I'm going to start off with my traditional thank you for coming to BlackHat this year. It's our 10th year we've ever done it here in Vegas, and for those of you who have been around a couple of years, it's a little crazy this year compared to that first year. It's only like 100 people or so, and we've been lucky to grow every year. And also this 10th year is the first year, the big show that we've done since we've been purchased by CMP, the big mothership as we refer to it. Pretty lucky to be bought by the mothership. We got beamed up last November, and ever since it's been pretty good. You know, I don't have to worry about accounting or legal, for those of you around for Cisco. They've got a whole legal department that's, you know, on the ball. And it was really funny because you guys didn't realize this, but during that action last year, they were here looking at us to see if they wanted to buy us. And there's actually 6 companies looking at us, and we scared 3 away in like 10 minutes. That left us with 3. One then left later on. That left us with 2. And both of them said, "Wow, you're getting a lot of press out of this. This is cool." I was like, "Okay, you guys, either one, you can buy us. Cool. We'll take your money." And then since then, I forgot to call my boss for about a month, and realized, well, you know, I just can't do that anymore because I actually work for somebody now. So I called him up, and he's, "Oh, that's cool. You know, just let me know what's going on." So I don't expect you to see any differences between last year and this year. If anything, you see a lot of big changes. We've been working with Caesars for a couple of years. You'll see we've grown all the way down the hallway. And because of that, we've added additional speaking tracks, a lot of new content, which now makes me look like a genius because we've grown. I knew that. I knew that. And that's why I got all that extra space. And it also allowed us to try a couple of new things. We have more panels, you'll notice, in the program. We also wanted to do something interesting, or I wanted to do something interesting, and to dispel the myth that Microsoft bought a track with the Vista. You know, no, not for sale. Already sold my soul. Can't do that twice in 1 year. There's a clause. So I was actually me being pretty greedy. What I wanted to do is I figured Vista, I believe their ship date. You know, silly me. And I was like, okay, they're going to ship a month or 2 after the show. I want to get all the engineers together, the guys who help work on the core, heap, memory, you know, the stack. And I wanted to try to get them speaking to you guys, you know, really bluntly, one-on-one, or in a technical nature, not a marketing nature. So I convinced the guys out in Redmond to do that. And then they slipped the ship date. So it's still all very valid, but it's not the great timing that I was hoping it to be. You'd come here and you'd see it all, and then a month later, we'd all be dealing with it in our enterprise. So the timetable shifted, but I think that all the information is still really valuable. I've seen some of the presentations, and they're actually pretty cool. So just letting you know, it's not like the sellout track. We also have 15% of the attendees this year are from foreign countries. That's the largest ever. We have almost every South American country represented here. The largest contingent is from Europe, but we still have a lot of people from, say, South Korea, the UAE, Israel, the whole Asia Pacific is represented, from Hong Kong to mainland China. Don't know what those guys are doing here, though. Okay. I'd say we were expecting like 10% growth, and we got 30% growth, so bear with us just for a little bit to get through the issues. And we can feed you, we can house you, we can do everything. We've got parties for you lined up pretty much around the clock from here until next week. But it'll take us just a minute to accommodate all you last minute guys. What else do I have to say? I have to tell you, well, we can skip that, you know all that. The Administrivia, I just got to get this out of the way before I introduce Dan. Turn off your phones, stick them into meeting mode, or vibrate mode, whatever turns you on. The wireless network is still growing. We have a lot larger wireless network presence this year than last year, and we're still deploying APs and air monitors. So that'll be pretty much deployed by lunchtime, but we should have coverage in every speaking area. We've added a little lounge down the hallway here. We're putting more tables in there. You can chill out in there. We've got a bar, or cash bar, and a real espresso machine, apparently, if you need to get your fix. And next year, I can tell already we're going to have to double the size of the lounge. But I'm trying to create more spaces for you guys to socialize, and that seemed like a great idea with more space this year. So take advantage of that if you can. Lunch will be in what we call the hangar, or the tent. And for those of you who've been here in the past, you can either get to it by going down these escalators, but now that the new wing is finished, you can also go all the way down the hallway and down those escalators. So if you're seeing a talk at the end, don't feel like you have to trek all the way back here and all the way out to the hangar. You can just take the end escalator all the way down. And we take the feedback really seriously. And so in the program, you see our feedback form. I'd like you to fill that out. We give away, I think this year we're giving away 2 free admissions and some trainings and a bunch of other prizes to randomly selected ones. And we actually really do read every one of them. So please take the time to fill that out. You have until the end of the day tomorrow to turn them in. Tonight, we have our big reception. That's the big food and drink-a-thon from 6 to 8 p.m. tonight. And for those of you who didn't realize it, Caesar's Palace is coming up on their 40th year anniversary. So tonight they decided, wouldn't it be cool to try to break the world's record for the world's largest toga party? So that's tonight. Right at the end of our receptions from 8 to something, they're giving out togas and drinks and everything out in front. So don't be surprised if like all the bed sheets are stolen. Which is perfect because for DEF CON we have 2 nights of the black and white ball this year, and everybody's like, what am I going to wear for white? You know, Packers always wear black, so it's going to be like the toga ball. So that's cool. So I'm really proud to launch this year's show. I want to thank the speakers for creating all the content. We have the most number of speakers ever. A lot of them put in a lot of effort to generate their material. So I want to thank them all if they're in the audience for doing this, making this all possible. I want to thank our sponsors for their support, helping us market this, helping us get the word out. And I also really want to thank you guys, because without your support, without you coming here and helping give us direction and focus, well, none of this would happen. And so really, we're just sort of responding to what you guys want to see, and I hope we've got it spot on this year. And finally, the staff, the guys in the football or American soccer jerseys, for making it all happen. We've got a lot of moving bits, and they're there to skid the, grease the skids, make it all possible. So if you see them running around looking all crazed, just politely step out of the way and let them go about their business. Also, feel free to ask them any questions. They're there to help you. So if you're confused, got a question, let them know. So with all the administrivia out of the way, it is now my privilege and honor to introduce Dan Larkin. Dan's the unit chief of the Internet Crime Complaint Center at the FBI. And before that, he operated in West Pennsylvania, or supervised the high-tech crime unit there. He's a self-described technophobe who has recently seen the light. He sort of realizes there is a lot to be gained between interactions between federal law enforcement and industry. And so when we selected him to keynote, I really wanted him to kind of help orient everybody here, give us a big picture view of what's going on in the world. You know, we spend so much time focused on our networks. That's pretty cool. Right on. So we spend a lot of time focused on our own networks that sometimes we forget that there's a bigger world out there, and that bigger world's not necessarily getting more hostile, but it's definitely getting more connected. And there are some bad actors out there. Dan gets to see all the bad actors. So I wanted him to sort of expose you to the bigger world and just kind of let you know the environment that we're playing in. So with that, it's my privilege to introduce Dan. I'm going to turn off my microphone so we...
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. Yep. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that accurate introduction. It was actually my microphone that was competing with his, so further demonstration on my technical inadequacies. As Jeff said, I am a recovering technophobe. I used to be really afraid of you all, but I've come to know that you all are actually very key to success for us. And I want to thank you all for reminding me periodically of my inadequacies, and that's something that's been, you know, a hard pill for a lot of us to swallow in law enforcement. But it's important for us to note how significant the talent is that you all bring to the equation, and how much we need your expertise and input as we develop strategies for identifying and impacting cybercrime in the 21st century. You know, there's an adage out there, or saying that people have conveyed, that 1 in 10 people in the United States or the world are, well, fill in the blank. In this audience, I'm going to say that probably 1 in 10 people in the room maybe this year might even be feds. So look to the left and look to the right. If you don't know the person, they just might be a fed. I don't need the mouse. There we go. It was working fine. I'll toggle. We're back. Thank you. So again, 1 in 10 folks at this conference may in fact be a Fed. Be nice to them. They're here to help you. They're here to figure out how we can team up and be better partners as we move forward in this ongoing battle against cybercrime in the 21st century. I think it's very significant that these conferences are often held in Vegas. I think it's a real strong reminder, at least for me, that it's much more emotional than it is logical. You know, as smart as we think we are and think we become in years of the profession that we're in, I think we learn more and more how much we don't know. And if you look around you as you walk down the strip in Vegas and all the glitz and the glitter and all the flashy things that are out there that you can't have, I think you realize that it's really all about the emotional. It's that right brain, left brain side of the house. And we are much more driven by the emotional than we are the logical. And that's something that we need to sort of embrace and take into account when we formulate our strategy for going after cybercrime. Because it's really all about the people. As much as technology advances in the 21st century and changes all the time, it really is all about the people. People that are behind the computer on the victim side of it, the people that are behind the server or the website, the other utilities that are out there executing the criminal networks on the other side. And we talk about organized crime in the 21st century, and this is really about the packaging of it. It's not only about the people, but it's about the packaging. And we've leaned towards calling things more organized crime because it is actually a better fit when we talk to some of our international partners about what they're seeing. So adapting ourselves to what the problem is and to try to evolve to be a better, a more effective partner is something that's very important in how we go after cybercrime today. It's really about the definitions too. When we talk about cybercrime, obviously speed is always going to be significant. Speed in technology is always advancing. People want more, they want it faster. That desire for speed, that need for speed is going to constantly motivate people to drop their defenses and to be more susceptible to things that are going to make them part of a victim network in cybercrime. Intelligence, today you've heard that, and I know there's a lot of oxymoronic terminology out there when you talk about government and intelligence and law enforcement and intelligence, but it's all about where the best information is and how do you access that information quickly, trying to be aware of the broader pool of intelligence that you all possess, and you all have been very helpful in helping us realize what that broader definition is. Perspective, if we talk about partnering with different people, different organizations, we can't just stand up at the podium and say, okay, we're here to partner with you. Meet us at this room or this physical location.